How about boca bao?
Okay, before I was doing this exercise with a kettlebell,
Mm-hmm.
and the kettlebell fell back. It fell.
Ow.
Yeah. So I took some x-rays, nothing happened, but I've always had pain, yeah,
Mhm.
whenever people touch the spine.
Okay. Did
Just
it
so you know.
did it fall more on the sacrum or on the lumbars? You remember?
I don't know.
Just been in both.
I
Both.
had a huge bruise.
How long ago was that?
3 months ago.
So that's fairly recent. So just scanning her spine, I was at my fingertips, but I want to listen with my whole hand. And I heard Donnie Epstein say one time, listening in stereo with both hands. When we're just palpating with our fingertips, you have a lot of sensation in your fingertips, but when you're listening with your whole hands, you get a full story. I like the whole stereo, listening in stereo compared to mono or whatever it is. So I'm just getting an idea of what's happening with her body right now. Would lumbars be the first thing I adjust on her? Probably not, but I'm going to go straight to your lumbars, okay? On your side, facing me, please. And normally, in the office, I would adjust that prone, just like she is, and single hand, I would adjust this L5 like that. I do a lot of prone single hand lumbar adjusting, okay? Because partly of time, but I think it's very specific for me as well. So I'm gonna bend this leg. Now this is what I do. I want your legs to be, chiropractors, everybody wants to be this, Gonstead fulcrum, right? But if the body's at ease, where you would normally just bring up your leg, you will notice everyone bends their bottom leg. What do? They tell us in school, we straighten out that leg. Mm-hmm. I keep it at ease. Where you're normal and the system just wants to go, that's what's right for me. Sometimes I bring them in, because I don't want rotation. I'm not doing a lot of rotation in their spine trying to wring them out, okay? So let's just get your head right here in the center. That way you're just cradled there. And I'm just feeling right at her L5 here. Can you feel that? I'm on the spinous and the mammillary on the opposite side. And I'm just moving her. I could feel already she's very flexible. And I have you right there. You can feel it. Did you feel that? What's your feedback on that? Was it at ease?
Yeah.
Was it sore after that injury?
It was super sore.
When I was touching, I was in there.
Yeah.
I know I was.
But wow,
Does it feel? Let's see if the sensation's different around there. Is it different, that feeling? So I'm on the fingertip of the mammillary on this side and the spinous on that side. And what I did, just like this, okay? So I had her at her ischium here, and I'm not resting on her, I'm not leaning on her.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is actually, I'm just taking that, a little bit of pressure off her lumbar. I had that, and I just did a little pull this way. Was that right?
Yeah.
I didn't use my leg at all. I didn't ride up on her. But if you could see what I was doing with her leg, I was bringing her to ease, okay? Just like we bring people ease when we're doing with the cervicals, I was bringing her low back to just that point where her body was at ease, and I did a slight pull, and it fell right into place.
Is your leg blocking her from rolling too much?
Not intentionally.
Okay.
Not intentionally.
I couldn't see from here, but
I was on her, and especially with
But
taller
usually
people,
are like, okay, let's
Yeah.
way
do
up,
this, and I'm like,
yeah, right, exactly. I have, and that's one thing. That's the other one of the wringing you out. I have people completely try and twist you out doing lumbars, whatever. You get all sorts of weird things, but was that at ease? Did you feel comfortable with it? Did you guys hear that, or did I just feel it?
I felt like a very good.
Yeah, it fell right into place. That was wonderful. Anybody else want to see what that feels like? Come on up. You're welcome.
I want a question.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're gonna be great.
When you were learning that and getting good at that, did you feel like a lot of, now you wouldn't even know because you're just used to it, but was that, it just seems like you went, but was it a lot of you worked your hands out and that's how you got good at that? How did that come?
You hit it a lot. That's all a very important question. It's training and work and practice, okay? It doesn't come in a day. And it's not to make I don't poke my fingers on a hard board like, they do in Kung Fu or whatever to make them hard and solid. I really, it's practice and touch and feeling. We haven't gotten to a lot of upper cervical yet, but even like with the piezoform, when you're sitting at your desk in school, just get your piezoform out there and just feel the desk, feel the nuances of the grain, and just really start building up, sensation at your piezoforms, your fingertips. There is an old thing, they used to do, you put a hair in a phone book, we don't have phone books anymore, and trying to feel that hair. How many pages can I feel that through? Just refining ourselves. Chiropractic school is about knowledge, you get knowledge, but it's really about refining your body. I don't know if you guys we had to sign a thing that we are physically capable of, doing this, doing chiropractic or training for it. Do you guys remember that? Did you guys have to do that?
We signed something in first quarter,
We've
but I
signed
think it's
it
more
this
like, where
Yeah.
we don't mind getting hurt.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
if we get hurt, we're not gonna sue kind of thing.
I remember that we're physically able to, and we had people that were perceived handicapped in the school, and they did very well adjusting. But I remember that. It's stuck in my mind that I'm physically capable of, because there's a physical nature to this. We have to refine our systems to be able to be in tune, okay? When I was at Chiro Bloom in Italy, my friends, they do a lot of network and BGI. I've done a lot of that stuff too, and I felt like being in the field when they were adjusting, being in that bioenergetic field of, serving people. So the sense of touch, but our sensations become so much greater in time, where you can feel that energy. You can feel all that going on inside the adjusting itself. We do a lot of open adjusting because we're sharing energy of all the people around us. So that shared energy and that fine tuning of things, some of it I think is really getting back to sort of a primal nature, like dogs are tuned into energy. We have had that, we've just compacted it with TV and life and everything else. It's suppressed. So being more in tune with those things and just listening and accepting the message that you got, that's the big one. Accepting that message that you received as being the right one. And very often when it's adjusting like infants and children, it's a light adjustment, and sometimes you just go a sustained contact, and I've felt just the moment I've touched right on the vertebra, and I felt something move. But did I really feel that? Did something just happen, or did I just imagine that? I think through those in my mind, say, did that just really happen? Because the moment you touch it and you feel like almost an explosion, but it was so minute. Did I really feel that? And it's the trust that adjustment's done now. I know it's done. We can go back, check the legs, we could do the palpation, which is good. But when you know that you've just cleared out this system, the other stuff doesn't matter at all. That's for clinical research or whatever it is. Like, I know this baby's adjusted. Meanwhile, the biggest family, I have a family of 12 that comes in here. They come in maybe once a year. I don't see them very often. It probably takes them that long just to corral all those kids together. But I have to say, they are the most disciplined children I have ever seen in my life. They come in, they all sit down. I haven't seen them. They take up the whole waiting room. And I adjust them in the chair, though. I do chair adjusting. I do chair adjusting anterior. I do some posterior, but like Gonstead. But I do mostly from the anterior. I do pulls. It's just for how my body is. I can feel the point of ease better when I'm doing them that way. On mission trips, I often do that too, where we just fill up all the chairs and we adjust them that way. And Adam will tell you, he's getting dressed. We have some people that can't lay down. I had a gentleman, older gentleman, and he was pushing himself up and dislocated his shoulder. He's heavy and frail, and we had a packed room in here. And I didn't leave his side the whole time. Okay, we want to make sure he's safe and secure. Dislocated shoulder, heart rate plummeted, started cold sweats. We were inches away from calling an ambulance. His wife said, no, don't do it. Everything will get better. And within a few moments, I had to get 3 people to help him up to sitting because he couldn't get off of his knees now. And his shoulder went back into place. This cold sweats changed. He got better. But we almost called an ambulance for that. I haven't had to call an ambulance yet in practice. But now I'm adjusting him just seated. I don't like using the justification of just. He's seated, right? And I do an atlas adjustment. Sometimes
Seated?
seated, just like this, okay? When I tell you, when I'm training, standing, doing my torques, it's probably for that moment for this one guy. I adjusted another boy who has passed away now. Is it muscular dystrophy? I think that takes them around 14. Okay. He had muscular dystrophy, and I adjusted in the same way, in the wheelchair, holding it. And sometimes, like Adam, he holds I have the infant piece right here, and I have another portable headpiece, just holding it on the side, having someone to assist me, and then doing a toggle on him with a drop. It was a lot of fun and very interesting. But you can do your job in millions of different ways. Once you understand the mechanics of how your body works and how the people's bodies work, all those things, you can do your job in different ways. So, keeping your body functioning like that. What was it going to do next?
That was it.
What were you talking about, the headpiece?
That's for little kids, that one? Particular?
It's
or
for anybody.
Anybody?
But I do it, sometimes I've got to chase them down over there, you know?
The mom.
Kids are running around, and we do it over by the train set and adjust them. So this is a little toggle piece. If any of you guys are good at making things, I've got an idea of how to really make this so much better. Okay, so
We have a friend in our class.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I need some help making a new toggle piece because
that
this
like
is
a
from the
speeder board?
ICPA, huh?
Is that like a speeder board or is it different?
I don't know if it's the same mechanism,
I think it is.
but it's similar. The speeder board, it's flat. You want to get
Yeah.
out of the speeder board. If you haven't purchased one yet, I would say either buy a Lloyd real toggle piece or the Thule. The best part of Thule is their toggle headpiece portable. That's the one I use if I go somewhere.
Oh, that's good to know, because I
Yeah.
haven't bought it yet.
If you, those are, and then you can use that Thule one or the Lloyd one in practice forever. The one thing about this, see, it's in a box. It's loud. Kids don't like loud. The Lloyd one is the same type of box. It's just thicker. It has a great action, but it's loud. The Thule one is open, and it has a hard plastic bottom, and then it's open in the center, so it's not as loud. And I know that sounds strange, but when your ear is right here and you hear, it's like, especially for a child, it's too loud. And but if someone, we'll talk to them, and I want to get something created. What I forgot about this. What I had planned to do is a visualization. It's a little too late now because people are going to come soon. But visualizing people coming into us in the morning is a very important thing. You know, my prayer is, bring the people in that I can help. Bring the people that I can help today. I'm here for them. I'm present. I'm training. I'm solid. I'm ready to go. That is an important thing to do in our mornings. I also write down the numbers that I want to see, how much I want to receive, how many new people, reactivations, all those things. I write it down. I don't write it down superfluously. I write them down by the number that I receive, right? And I also have goals. I want to see 200 people a day. I'm not quite at that number yet, but I'm not far off. And I built doing screenings, telling people, going out, and I say, you're telling the creative stuff of the universe, I want more people, by going out and doing screenings, telling the story, walking around with your spine, with a strap on your back. You're saying, I want more people. I have put in that equity into God and the universe and the creative stuff. I want more people, so I don't really have to do that stuff anymore, but I don't mind doing it. We still have 5, 10, 12 new people a day when we're in the morning, have nobody scheduled for new. It just happens because I'm ready for it and I expect it to happen. So just doing this did a little bit of that, but really the visualization and seeing it, it's important. You're going to say something?
I wanted to share a story that I read in a book, that there's a tribe in, where is it? I don't know, somewhere. And they live in a very, very dry place. And every chief of the tribe gets together, and only the ones that don't have fear can participate in the
Ceremony.
ceremony. And they visualize rain.
It's here in the United States, actually.
Yeah.
It was
The
here.
rain
And
dancing.
There's like, no,
But it's not a
Real.
rain dancing, they
But literally,
visualize
it's
Yeah.
like
getting wet, they
visualizing
visualize
the
the
smell,
plants growing, they
everything.
visualize everything, the smell, the texture, everything, and the story that the guy makes, basically, that whole week was kind of flood, and he said like, that's the thing about it, you visualize, but you don't know how much you're gonna get.
That's
It
the
was
part I was
flood.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it
Mhm.
was fun.
And we were in California and there was like a drought. And I was like, okay, let's just put some rain sounds and like smell the
sound.
rain and how does it feel.
We were
and-
actually,
And then it
just look at that
rained.
video.
I was like,
I
That's
saw a
funny.
quote on Facebook this morning that said, you know, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between your thoughts
Yeah.
and reality.
Mhm.
Yeah, listen.
When you're on the plane flights and doing some of the drills and exercises, you can do them in your mind. The body doesn't know the difference. And they've done many tests on athletes of building up muscle from visualizing instead of doing the actual training. It's really amazing when you look at that
A lot
stuff.
of it does.
That one about the rain is, I not one, I'm sure that's happened thousands of times, but I saw it on Goya, whatever that is.
Gaia TV.
Yeah, and it was
It was Greg Braden.
Greg Braden.
Yeah.
He tells that story, yeah.
yeah.
I saw that one, he talked about that. You know, we create these things, and it is powerful once we trust in it. One of the important things, not that wasn't important, that was very important, but he talks about in that about getting off the fast track. Pasquale, one of his main things was get off the fast track. You win by slowing down. You speed up by slowing down. The whole world out there is going and doing ding 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 ding, Monster, you know, Red Bull. I don't mind a little coffee, but everything is to speed up. And that's the fast track on top. And I think it was those same tribes or some other tribe, and they found like the petroglyphs of the second track. And this is that spiritual track of growth. The masses are going to be up here, but getting off that fast track, being at ease within ourselves, right? There is untold possibilities from there. Wealth will come to you in the ways that you want wealth to come. Love, money, joy, all those wonderful things that are abundance, right? But I really want to watch that video again. Maybe we'll watch it together about the fast track and the one with the tribe with Greg Braden. The heart math he also talks about too.
Mhm.
The meditation that they do is very important, really connecting and grounding our heart. If you notice, a lot of the talks I've been doing have been about your heart, clearing our system, being grounded, being clear to serve, getting rid of our husks, that Peter Omlinger likes to say. To me, I see it as mud. There was a point where, and I know this sounds really strange, that I felt like I had an energetic scab falling off of my heart at one point, and it was there for like months. And if you've ever pulled off a scab, you know the little pink stuff right underneath it, and it's the sensitive stuff, and you pull and tug on it. I felt the same way in my heart, and I even had a spot that I could just feel that. Once I felt, because I'm doing a lot of work on myself and my heart, I felt like it sloughed off. There are many layers to that stuff, but Greg Braden touches on a lot of those things, and I think those
Pretty cool.
his messages are really
I
good.
like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working with Joe Dispenza too.
So
Do you like Joe Dispenza?
He's good. He speaks in very complicated ways, though.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk like that as
Braden
chiropractors.
simplifies it.
He simplifies it.
It's not like
The chiropractors want to screw everything up, I have to say,
he's
by
a
making it
chiropractor.
complicated.
Oh,
Dispenza's a chiropractor.
yeah, he is a chiropractor, but I don't think he practices.
I don't think so
He's
either.
into the body-mind
Mm-hmm.
thing, very, very deep.
When we get into those things, we can make it so simple for ourselves. We create it and make it at ease, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. When we complicate things, what do we have to do? We got to pull out the instruction book. What were you talking about?
Yeah.
You heading out?
Yeah, I gotta take my daughter to swim class.
Awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
Super cool. Anyway,
Have a good trip. I'll see you later. All right?
See you, Junior.
see you Monday.
How long is your break? Are you guys going to be around at all for break, or
Yeah,
Yes.
a month?
it's a month, so I'll be gone next week. I think a bunch of us are coming on Monday, for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll be out for a week, and then
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
go
come when I
Wednesday
can.
to Wednesday, I'm gone next week.
Yeah.
Wednesday to Wednesday, same.
We're
I'll go
gone.
for 2 weeks.
Monday, Band of Brothers?
So next Band of Brothers is July 22nd,
Mhm.
so we're not doing it until everybody's back from break.
So you're coming on Monday next week here?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
we'll be
good.
here Monday,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome, I like that.
Yeah.
Who wants to do a little more lumbar? Who wants to feel what I was talking about?
Sure.
Put the spectacles off,
I was
please.
just making sure it wasn't his.
Can you make sure the AC is on 74, please? Okay, we're gonna go the other side up, this side up, please. So first thing, I wanna make sure headpiece goes up there at ease, and let's just let this leg go at ease, right here. And then this one at ease as well, okay? Now I might move you around a little bit, and then just kind of let that go. And now I'm just right here. I didn't even have to.
Yeah.
It was right before I
Yep.
pulled, but really I just let your whole system come to ease. I'm not leaning on her,
Right.
none of that stuff. Does that feel comfortable
Yeah,
on ease?
yeah, it's
Good
so
job.
comfortable. I don't know why they drill it into our heads that you need to be so like,
And this stuff, and,
Ugh.
I mean, my shoulders would not be able to take it.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know how
tough.
people could have long careers that kick your shoulder out.
They probably
this and
don't.
that. They probably don't. They probably don't. That's for sure. All right, who's next?
You wanna fit?
I feel like they just, you know, they overcomplicate
That's
a lot of
exactly
it.
right. What we're doing now is not for boards, okay? I'll tell you right now.
That's clear.
Okay, you can just see her, how much rotation she
Yeah,
has
should
here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, this side up, please, excuse
Would it
me.
be that would be more pelvis or?
I'm thinking sacrum. I'm gonna bring you just, I don't normally have to do this on regular people, but students, we all make that leg so straight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming in with just a little bit more. Can you feel that? I'm with my pisiform here, and I'm dropping her down.
It feels like it's effortless for you.
Yeah, you make it look so
Super
easy.
effortless.
It's practice,
That's
practice,
nice.
and practice.
But it looks easy.
That's right. So I had a bigger contact, okay? It wasn't my pisiform. I was a little more with my thenar because it was your sacrum. We got a little bit of L5, went with the sacrum with that. We could have done it a little more with a drop this way, and I would have dropped it with 2 fingers on the lateral portion of the sacrum itself, if I would have done that. Not with an arm kicked out from here, but more from just here, and with the body drop. But with that, with yours, what I did was just come in with the sacrum, and really just, I kind of scooped under the ilium. Let's just get the model here, please. So, oh, excuse me, let's just bring that up. There's a
Sorry.
red button, red button. It's okay. It jumps under everyone's foot. So, where we were at sacrum, legs were at ease. I brought your sacrum in a little bit, but what I did was come under the ilium and just a little bit of, with my arm, my elbow this way, just a little bit of pull, and sacrum moved, and L5 actually, okay? But that's where I was, right here. Not at tension. Did you feel it in tension or force there? Mm-mm. Just a
When you
little.
were bringing me over, I was like, oh, now I'm gonna get to tension, then nope, boop.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
was
Thanks for that
expecting-
feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I did. I did actually do that. I brought you over a little bit so I can get under the ilium a little bit
I
more.
thought he was gonna like go also.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
A body drop or
Yeah.
something.
So
And
I-
crunch it.
I feel like in school, when, at least me, when I'm personally doing side posture, I feel like I have to get that tension to like open that space in order to get it, or else it doesn't go. So like, what am I doing wrong?
You're asking me that question?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you're doing in school. I don't know what they're teaching you, and it's not that tension, you know, that's the same thing within like the cervicals, jamming through the paraphysiological space. Same thing down here. But when we're comfortable and we're off this fast track of I've got to force, we've got to get going, we've got to move. When we're at ease and we're working with your body, if we want to take it a little step farther, if I would have really focused on it, we'll feel the CSF flow. We'll probably feel the sacrum. That's what I'm really doing when I'm doing my palpating. I'm feeling the vibration and tone of all the vertebra. The spinal cord's oscillating inside the bone. It's vibrating through these systems. I could feel the pulses. If you spend some time with sacrum and occiput especially, like SOT too, as well, and feeling the sacro-occipital pump, it's truly amazing. But when you feel a tone where it wasn't moving, your right side, and being able to just connect to that area, just a little bit of input from you, because her system trusted me. Okay? I probably, all these years of practice, seeing lots and lots of people, I may have done that adjustment, you would think I would say thousands of times, but maybe less than 100. But I know how the body works. I know how my input would work. I may start off with very light impulse there and maybe add a little bit next time. But it just seemed to work absolutely perfectly. It's knowing mechanics, knowing the body. How do the meninges work? How do the bones work with the meninges? How is the pelvis functioning? Is this the real subluxation? And for you, I really felt it was sacrum, was your subluxation, okay? We probably would have found a reflection of that in the atlas as well. For me, when I first, in school, my first thing is I want to know how atlas works. I want to know everything about the atlas. I want to know about occiput, and I want to know about sacrum. I'll be able to adjust those other bones. But I want to know how this works, how these systems work. If the sacrum is pumping CSF for my motion, I want to know why. I want to know how it functions. Mark Pick, if you ever look at his things, he's in Hawaii, I think, used to be in California, but he does dissections. And I have seen them, they're absolutely amazing, but they're on YouTube as well. Just a little pressure in the sacrum and you'll see the dura expand in areas. And amazing dissection, that's an art, by far it's an art. But just seeing where pressures, make changes in the cranium all the way from the sacrum or what have you, it's just beautiful. So getting to know those parts of the body and how they interrelate and how they function, that's important. So that was wonderful and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
That was great.
One more.
Want me to lower the table or is that good?
We'll see. Go ahead and face down.
When you find something, can we feel what try to attempt to feel what you're feeling?
Yes. I'm going to adjust this first, okay, before I do any lumbar with him, all right? This is going to be a single hand anterior, okay, from P to A. Instead of doing anterior, I'm going to do single hand. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
So here are my thenar. Where's this hypothenar? And what I'm really feeling is where's the rotation there? And I feed in just a little bit. And what I did was just lift that vertebra up. In Gonstead, we talk about like adjusting to the disc. That's a little more to the disc than I just did, if you notice that,
Yeah.
okay? But what I did was scoop it up. Was that comfortable?
That was very comfortable.
Very often with spinous, it's so sensitive. So if we scrape across it or what have you, it's having a definite foot, hold on the vertebra and then following through with it along the plane line and the disc line.
It looked like you started here and then you kind of ended fleshy pisiform a little bit when you got to a spot.
That's exactly right. I'm finding the spot where my body feels the best at that point. What's exactly happening here? How can I connect? It's not just this and then do it. It's if this is the right spot for my hand, that's not a pisiform area. That is a hypothenar area for me. And I find just the right spot that feels perfect. And that takes practice and listening. It's again, listening. Did you see that just a moment ago?
He's hard to adjust.
Because
He is?
back is so much better now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to adjust L5.
Really?
Now it's like.
Good morning.
Morning.
Be just a moment, okay? On your side facing me. Sometimes I tell people I'm just going to hold this spot. Okay,
I
ready?
noticed that too, before you did with your thenar, you had
Scoot towards me.
the fingers exactly where you need to
Mm-hmm.
be.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, okay.
This leg just
No,
relax a
did
little
that.
more.
Yeah. Little things, like little tricks.
Oh
like that.
my
That was
gosh. That's wild. Wow. Wow.
That was cool.
That was pretty.
I was like,
I just felt like
Yeah.
that was good.
Wow.
Thank you